Tuning into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, yes. If you only heard what we were just talking about.
I know. Why don't we share it for them?
No, it's okay. Welcome to Monday Night Football After Show.
Yeah.
We are on week 5.
Woo!
5 weeks in already, guys. Can't believe it. I'm your host, Christina Kaplan. I'm joined by
Thaddeus Massey.
And I'm Kevin John. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes,
I'm excited to be here.
Our newcomer, Kevin. Welcome.
I know. We're very happy to have you, Kevin. I'm Stef Z, still recovering from yesterday.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Jets got whooped on by my Chargers. But everybody, it was Steph's birthday. So write in the comments, wish her a happy birthday because she's looking gorgeous.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Happy birthday.
It was a fun game though, and we got pounded by the Chargers 31-0, and I was there. So
That's what makes it worse. Like,
I know.
it was hot. It was so freaking hot, man. I sat there and sweat my butt off and watched us lose. I know they haven't, but it's really funny to say. I think the Chargers got more touchdowns than we got first downs.
Yeah.
It might have been the same or like equal,
horrible.
but it was terrible. Like I'm still recovering.
In San Diego.
And another interesting fact about that,
Oh,
you know
shit.
that the Jets were the first team that's been shut out in the 2014 NFL season.
Wow,
They're
that's
the
a nice
first team.
record to hold.
So that's just something else to think
some
about.
kind of record.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
Oh, gosh.
That's a great birthday present, Kevin.
Yo,
so
but you know
rub it
what
in
the
her face.
right?
You know what?
What do you know?
Dude, I'm a Jets fan. I can take it. But you know what the crazy thing is? And it's kind of newsy, so I'll say it, and then we can move on from my Jets because I don't want to take up too much time. But apparently, so Michael Vick went in the second half, and everyone was cheering for him, and we ended the first half with Gino throwing an interception. Big freaking surprise.
What else is new? Yeah.
But they said today in the news that Gino, this is like even more embarrassing. I don't know if you guys heard this. Gino apparently missed the meeting before the game. And his reasoning was he counted 3 hours the wrong way for the time zone. So he was like off at the movies somewhere. So that's why they said that they played Vic the second half. Which is like either really bad cover up or just being like, yeah, our quarterback's dumb.
Yeah.
Well-
I
Like,
heard
why
that.
why is someone not being like, yo, dude, you're gonna be at the meeting in like an hour, right? Like, hello.
Wow.
Did you also hear or see, I'm not sure if it was the New York Post or what newspaper, but it said bring back Tebow. That was their covers.
What?
I've heard it all.
I'm all for Tebow coming back. You know, I love Tebow. I love the kneeling in
take
the end
Tebow.
zone.
I think
I
the
want
Jets
Matt
need,
Sims.
They need to bring back Namath, okay?
Yeah,
Seriously,
at this point.
anybody they can bring. They can bring.
Shit, I'll play.
Sarah Palin could be the quarterback of that team, and they could do better than Gino.
Wow.
That was harsh.
Saying a lot.
Put in
But
the
Gino
shotgun.
will be
The
starting
shotgun.
this week.
Yeah, so we want to
Anyway,
make
moving on. Sorry.
make a little mention too. I'm sorry to our viewers that we weren't able to do last week's Monday Night Football.
We had a bye week.
We were on bye week along with, you know, the Seahawks and the Broncos, but yeah, so we can touch on that real quick.
Yeah,
The
it was just a little bit,
Patriots-
just so you guys know too, we wanted to bring it to you. We had a little bit of technical difficulties recording the game, so we were all here and we actually couldn't watch the game, so we didn't want to just bring you stats and it to be like kind of a bullcrap talk about it. We figured we'd rather keep it real, try and rewatch it, and apparently there's not too many places you can rewatch the game. Or if you guys out there know,
DVR.
unless it's DVR,
Right.
But like if it's not DVR, there's not. I think maybe like NFL.com, but you have to pay for something or whatever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, sorry about that. We got a few tweets regarding that, so we just wanted to touch on it, and we could touch on the game. And I'm actually really sad we didn't get to cover this game because
Right.
the Patriots got pummeled.
Right, so it wasn't much of a game to really talk about.
I was say, was I the only one that enjoyed watching the Patriots getting annihilated on
I missed
on
it.
Monday Night Football? It was a great thing. As you can tell, I'm not the biggest Patriots fan there is. I respect Brady, Belichick. I think they did some incredible things there the last decade. But the way that KC, and that's Kansas City, handed them that loss was the most emphatic, just disrespectful, demoralizing manner you could have did it.
Okay, but was it really Kansas City really beating them, or was it New England was really playing horribly?
Kansas City was socking it to them. I mean, yeah, granted, the Patriots didn't help their cause. They had, Brady had, two interceptions.
Right.
They turned the ball over a few more times.
Right.
Wow.
So they didn't help their cause. But, I mean, Kansas City was in rhythm. They were in sync. Alex Smith was looking like the franchise quarterback that KC went to get 2 years ago. And they were just clicking on all cylinders. So.
Yeah, Alex Smith threw for 248 yards with 3 touchdowns that
Yes.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
But sometimes, a team can win a game, and sometimes a team can lose a game.
right.
So you gotta have to
I
see.
We did talk about that.
Right. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if did Casey really win that game, or did New England really lose that game?
I'll put it like this. They beat New England up so bad afterwards they were talking about Brady potentially sitting the next game and Belichick starting another quarterback in favor of him.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Exactly. It was that bad.
I
Janine
actually
Garoppolo.
heard.
Garoppolo. Yeah, that was their
Oh my
draft
God,
pick.
you're funny. I actually
He's
heard.
Italian. I don't know.
I know. I heard. I got you. I actually heard in talks this week on ESPN, like it was just talk. I'm not trying to start rumors, but they were talking about what the potential of Brady being traded would be.
I heard that as well.
Yeah,
I heard that as well.
Well, maybe we'll get Tom Brady. Maybe the Jets will
I
get
don't
Tom
know
Brady.
if you want him.
Tom Brady will retire before he
goes-
became a Jet. Okay, I'll tell you
I
that
know.
right now. That would never
I
happen.
don't even know that we would want him. We'd boo him out of this. We boo our own. Like, you should have seen the fans yelling at our own team in San Diego. Like, people were trying to, like, mess with us and be like, you guys suck. And we're like, yeah, we do. Like, what else you got?
But you got to understand the fans of the New York Jets. I mean, season after, at least the last time they went to the AFC Championship was, 2010, I believe, or 2009.
Hey, man,
behind
at least you know
Sanchez.
I'm loyal.
So you are.
So that's it.
But
We're
you know,
terrible.
the thing is, when are they going to get rid of Rex too? I think that he's doing.
I think wouldn't be surprised if he was fired during this season. And I believe his contract is up the end of 2015, like this comes over. So like next year, he's not guaranteed anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired. Because he does stupid stuff. Like yesterday after the game, he's like, hey guys, this one's on me. Sorry to the fan. Like there was a comment on SportsCenter, like, sorry to the fans, like if there are still any of you left. Like, who says that?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Like
what?
he did, like it literally, I have the quote. It was literally, I'll show you. It
There's
was
still any of
if
you
there's still any of
left.
you left.
Yeah, but then
Are there any
and
left?
Geno
Oh,
Smith
we have one
also
left.
flipped off the crowd and like yelled something at them too as he's walking out off the field. In
Oh
the
Yes.
last
yeah,
game.
that was the prior game to this
Yeah.
one. Yeah, he shouted some obscene or
Yeah.
profanities or something, and he went back and apologized for
Right.
it though.
Yeah.
But still, it's like if you're the quarterback of a franchise,
Right.
you're the one person
And
that
you're
has
terrible.
to
You
shouldn't be doing
maintain
that.
your composure.
Yeah, the quote was SportsCenter. Coach Rex Ryan takes blame for lost charge. It says, I apologize to our fans, those that are left.
Wow.
Come on.
Would you
Wow.
still be a fan of the Jets if they moved to another city?
Oh my God, that was a conversation on the way home. People were asking if I would still like them if they moved to LA, because we all know here in LA we're looking maybe to get a team.
No, we're not. That's just
Chargers.
That's a
It may
myth.
No,
be
I
the
think I
Rams.
definitely
it
think
may
we're
be
gonna
the
get it.
We've been
Rams.
looking for 20 years.
No, but I think it's different now. It depends. Like if the Jets moved to LA, I would, because I'm here, I'd be stoked because I get to go to the games. But if they moved to like Texas or something, I feel like there'd be a disconnect.
Yeah.
But I feel like
How did you become a Jets fan to begin with?
I'm from Long Island, dude.
Oh,
I've been a
okay.
Jets fan since like Richard Todd days.
Okay.
So,
okay.
but yeah.
You're official. You're
Yeah.
official.
All right, we can move on from the Jets. Sorry, I'm making it
Okay.
about me, but it was my birthday, so I can.
Of course.
It did.
You got your little Jets plug.
I
in
had to
there.
get it out. I needed somewhere to vent.
Can we take a moment of silence for the Jets before we move on? Just, and the catastrophe
Seriously,
that
though.
happened.
Seriously though.
Yeah, we're going to be
no.
taking a lot of moments of silence for the rest of the season with them, I think. But
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's
So,
move on.
like we were saying,
Monday Night Football, Week 5.
yes, week 5. I was gonna say touch on the fact that the Patriots turned around and whooped on the Bengals, served them their first loss of the season.
They did.
in this
They did.
this last weekend. So, like you said, it sounds like it was Kansas City played really well, and not necessarily the Patriots. I mean, yeah, they probably played really bad too, but I just want to throw it out there. I think this season is the fall of Tom Brady. I'm just predicting that. I think
That's a bold prediction right there.
I know, but I mean, granted, he doesn't really have a lot to work with. I mean, Julian Edelman, like,
are him and Giselle okay
when he's healthy? Like,
Gronkowski had a touchdown yesterday. You said him and Giselle okay?
He seems like the guy that if stuff's going on in his life, his game suffers.
You know what? He's starting to have a drop ever since he took that Uggs boot campaign.
Oh, God.
There it is.
He just started just kind of waning for him.
It's like Sanchez with GQ, man. No, I'm kidding.
That is true.
Although
another fall.
We were gonna touch on it later, but since we're on the Patriots and we just mentioned the Bengals game, I do want to mention that it was so awesome, and I it's hard for me sometimes to praise the Patriots, but the Patriots cheerleaders came out wearing Devin Sills' jersey. In support of his 4-year-old daughter that's battling cancer. And there's so many amazing things that the NFL's doing. And there's like hashtags going around like one family, you know, all the team, all the jerseys that sell, proceeds go to the daughter's stuff. They're keeping him on the roster even though he's like missing lots of time just so he can have the health coverage and stuff to take care of her. So that was, I mean, we always talk about the negative things that the NFL has and what's happening. And that was a really super positive thing. So
that was beautiful.
That was a good one on the Patriots.
His jersey is the highest selling jersey in Bengals history.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Wow.
So
more than Boomer Esiason?
Yes.
Wow. Chad Ochocinco?
Yeah.
Wow.
That just goes to show you how many people are actually trying to help. Because not only is it,
I know, right?
Not only is it going towards helping his daughter's specific case, but it's, you know.
You see that commercial? Icky shot. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Get some cold cuts today.
Cold cuts. Do the icky shot.
Woo! Yeah, no. Okay, we're getting
wow, we're all over.
We have
tonight.
ADD in here today. I think
It's
all your
it's my fault. Blame it on the black guy. I know.
One of two.
The other black
I know, right? It's all me.
Okay, so let's actually talk about the game tonight. The Seahawks and the Redskins. The Seahawks defeated the Redskins 27-17. It was
the Seaskins and the Redhawks. I thought you were about to say that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was a game. It was a good game. I mean, I expected the Seahawks to come out and kind of run all over the Redskins, and the Redskins did well. Kirk Cousins played a lot better than he did last weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can always go up from 4 interceptions as long as you don't throw 4.
Unless you're Geno Smith, and then you go down.
I mean, they were
sorry.
They actually kind of gave it to them in the beginning, and they're allowed somewhat of a comeback. It got kind of.
It was 17-0.
Well,
yeah.
The main reason we can touch on that first. The main reason why it wasn't such a blowout is the Seahawks had 13 total penalties. 3 touchdowns of Percy Harvin's got overturned because of flags. So it would have been a lot.
You know what? I'm really shocked at this, and I'll tell you why. Because I love Pete Carroll. Loved him USC. Like, I knew his relationship with Sanchez when that was happening, so I got to know who he was as a coach. I think he is such a phenomenal coach. Such a phenomenal coach. I think he has his team and the organization are all on the same page. And for me, that discipline that causes these dumb penalties usually doesn't coincide with a team that is so on the same page and has such great leadership. Like, to me, it's a little bit like shocking. I mean, last year they had the most penalties of everyone. It was like 104. Like, I forgot exactly what it is. I have it written down somewhere. But it was like they had more penalties than anyone, and that usually doesn't happen, and they win the Super Bowl as well. So I was really, really shocked about how many penalties are still happening.
Honestly, I think some of those penalties were bad officiating, though. There were a few when I was like, whoa, you're going to call a hold on that, really?
Yeah, and the personal foul when he was on the ground. Like, some of them were ridiculous, but overall, there's still lots of offsides. There's lots of stuff that's
the majority
just
of those
discipline.
penalties were all on offense too.
Yeah.
Which alludes to Percy Harvin. And I gotta say, Percy Harvin played a hell of a game.
Yes.
And you won't see it when you look at the stats line at the end of it. You will not see just the effect that guy has when he's on the field. But you talked. He had 3 touchdowns called back, 1 receiving, 2 rushing.
Yep.
And you just look at somebody like that, and he still continues going out there. Two of them were consecutive. Yeah. He scored, called back, and then scored again on the next play and called back. And the Percy Harvin effect is something that really throws off a lot of defensive schemes, because whenever he's on the field, the attention goes to him, whether he lines up in the backfield, whether he lines up as a receiver. Yep. He could kill you. He could probably play quarterback if they wanted him to.
He's a very dynamic player. I mean, you have to definitely, your ears, the antennas go up. Okay, Harvin's in the game. We have to readjust and recalculate and recalibrate.
Exactly.
Especially when you got a quarterback like Russell Wilson. And him on the field at the same time.
Most definitely.
Like, it was in the first quarter, I was like, is there anyone else in the field? Like, you're just drawn to watching them
in
two
the
play.
first quarter, he had already rushed for 80 yards.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he is amazing.
80
He
yards?
is
Speaking of rushing,
80 yards only in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Total, it was like 122 yards that he rushed
broke the
for.
record for Monday Night Football for a quarterback rushing the most. He beat Donovan McNabb.
Because not only did he rush the most, he also threw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's insane.
Yes, he's a monster.
And you know what? I don't know if you guys caught, I don't know if it was during halftime or during commercial, but they did an interview with him. They were like showing excerpts from an interview, and they weren't like interviewing him during the game. But he was just saying, because he's beaten, the quarterbacks, like he's beaten the Peyton Mannings, he's beaten the Tom Brady's, and he's still humble in the sense where he's like, man, one day I just want to be out there and calling the plays and playing 14 years into my career there. Like, he's not, like, he's the new hot thing.
They actually addressed that. That's because his paycheck is still humble.
Yes.
He'll be able to renegotiate that
at the end of the season.
End of the season.
Exactly.
And he's about to get
Still,
Kaepernick
he
money.
could,
Yes.
he could know that that's coming and be a little cocky about it, and he chose not to.
Well, the reason why is because this is a high-risk game. Anything could happen. You're one play away.
RG3.
Right, but I still, even with all that, I still think he's a well-grounded, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, through how great he is, some of them come off like jerks, and he's a well-grounded, like, I'm here for the love of the game, and I'm gonna keep playing, and it's not about the endorsements, which I know he had, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's for him, it's about playing the game, being good at the game, and bringing his team championships.
Well, we'll definitely have to see how that's gonna play into their salary cap next season, because he's only like making like a little over $800,000.
He's the third lowest paid.
I like how you said he's
on their
only
roster.
$800,000.
Well,
But-
it was funny,
in football
saying that.
standards,
Right,
I know.
like
Quarterback
in
standards.
real life, it's like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, in football, especially a franchise quarterback like that, that's
Who just won
nothing.
the Super Bowl.
So let me ask you guys, would you consider Russell Wilson an elite quarterback, like
Yes.
top 5 in the league,
Most
like up there
definitely.
with Brady, Manning, Rodgers,
Of course.
Breeze?
100%.
See, I wouldn't.
Why?
That's because you would throw Geno Smith in there. But anyways,
That's because for me, it's those guys' careers have lasted. You know what I mean? Because you look at Russell Wilson, and then you've got quarterbacks like RG3 that we thought were going to be the Russell Wilson. Then he goes out and he gets hurt because he's not as head smart. And not that he got hurt because he's not head smart, but you know what I mean? Like that veteranness or whatever you want to call it, and being a player for an extended period of time and calling your own plays. Yeah, maturity, that's what I was looking for. He doesn't have that yet. He does make mature decisions. I mean, some of the throws on the run he had tonight were insane.
yeah.
And he's
Johnny Manziel-like.
better. But
Whoa!
I'm not a fan of Manziel. But
Manziel-ish.
you know what I mean?
Thank
Like,
you.
so I feel like there's got to be a few more years under his belt before you can compare him to those quarterbacks.
Well,
my opinion.
The reason I disagree with that is because if you watch the game tonight and you see how smart he is, not only is he a great athlete and he can run that ball on his own, obviously we saw that, but with those read option passes, and he doesn't see anyone open, he gets out of the pocket, he's able to keep the play alive and somehow still find a receiver open downfield like 20 seconds later. You know what I mean? And throw a perfect pass to him. It's like, I feel like I don't really see that kind of dynamic play in a lot of quarterbacks now in this.
Right, but you also got to think about the fact that their whole team pretty much works. So give him a team that sucks, and will he still be the same quarterback?
Good point.
And
That's
all
true.
those other quarterbacks have been in the
point.
league for long enough where their team has sucked. And like Tom Brady, he's got a whole new line. You know what I mean? Like they're working with different variables, and they're still able to go out there, command the field, and take charge. And that's what I'm saying. Like we haven't seen if. I love him. I think he's great, but you know what I mean. Like I just feel like
he still
you
has
still got to see
some benchmarks to make.
Yeah, like have a few of his, and not that I want this to happen, but have a few of his key players that have been working with him since he's been there get injured and he has a whole new thing to deal with, will he be the same? Who knows?
Yeah, I agree. I think Russell does benefit from having one of the best well-rounded teams from him.
And coaching,
from the defensive standpoint and also from the off. But one thing that I have to say, in order for him to be an elite quarterback and last and have the longevity of 15 years, whatever, I do think he does have to tone down the rushing, the mobility aspect, because especially as you see this day and age where the quarterback position is evolving, and you see a lot more mobile quarterbacks, your RG3s, your Kaepernicks, and things of that sort. A lot of them are getting injured a lot more too.
Exactly.
Like Michael Vick, we saw it with him 10 years ago. He was constantly injured. So I think if Russell focuses on being more of a pocket passer, he'll have a lot more longevity. Now, I'm not knocking the fact that he can run and evade tackles, because tonight we saw what that did for the team. But I still think he can't be doing that every game for the next 10 seasons if he wants to stay healthy.
Definitely a lot. I think he definitely plays smart. This guy, he doesn't work hard. He works smart. I think when you see quarterbacks who have the ability to run, you have some of them that will actually are quick to run, as opposed to being patient, sitting in the pocket, and then allowing the play to develop, and then if there's nothing, run. And to me, Russell Wilson seems to have those attributes. To me, he doesn't seem like a guy who's quick to run. He's got the patience. He's got the patience, and that shows a sign of maturity that I think will catapult him to the elite quarterback status quicker than a guy who's not quite.
He's amazing.
No, I mean, he's mobile, but he doesn't use it as a first choice. He takes his time.
He looks at all his options.
He's patient, and that's somebody who has the ability to run when they're not mature and they're like a new guy in the league. Theoretically, they will take off and run sooner. It's like, oh wait, nobody. Okay, I'm out.
Like Vic in his first 2 years.
Exactly. And he doesn't really do that as much. Yeah. He kind of sits there and he takes his time and he lets the play develop. And
it's like he stays the course until he sees a problem, rather than like being like, oh, I'm just gonna do this.
He just has the ability to run.
He's very poised.
He has the ability to run. He does the same thing that a lot of these other guys do when the play doesn't develop and they take off. They just can't take off. He can. Right. It's kind of the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think his elusiveness tonight really was unprecedented from any other QB that I've seen in recent years.
Definitely.
I mean, like I said earlier, he looked Manziel-ish out there. Hard to. Sorry, I
just can't stand. I can't.
You can't?
I don't like him.
Well, I heard he may be coming to the Jets next year, so we'll find out.
I still wouldn't like him.
I just made that up, but who knows? But no, I was just saying, he just looked very elusive, and he was able to create and extend the play.
Right.
He goes out, the first two options are covered. He could still extend the play, as you saw, and make like that pass to Marshawn Lynch towards the end of the game, fourth quarter. You saw he was almost tackled. Alluded to a defense.
That was crazy.
And threw it to Marshawn, who
that was one of those plays where you're just like, really?
How did
exactly.
that
really?
Right.
And then Marshawn is able to just barrel through about three guys too, and
beast mode.
Right.
Beast mode.
It's just
Beast mode.
Like you said, Steph. That whole team, all of those guys on his offense, including himself, they are so versatile. They can do so much, and it's just. When they're all clicking, everyone's clicking, it's scary. It's scary to watch.
And it also gives him an enormous amount of confidence. And I feel like that confidence is why he does all these things we're talking about, because he doesn't panic. He knows he's got options. He's confident with a lot of different options. It's not like he's playing and he's only got one guy that he knows he can get the ball to. And if that guy's coverage, he's like, shit, I got to go this way. You know what I mean? Like, he's always got options. He looks at his options and he's confident. And I mean, winning the Super Bowl might give you a little bit of confidence.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And the main thing...
Having a ring helps. Having a ring helps.
But I was going to say the main thing with Russell is he doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many interceptions he has this season off the top of my head. I don't know if anyone else. But I think it's like maybe 2, if even that. I mean, go ahead. He does not.
He doesn't turn the ball over, but there was a lot of sloppy snaps that almost caused turnovers tonight. So
okay.
He doesn't throw interceptions.
Yeah, but still, I mean, as far as fumbling, because a lot of times quarterbacks do have lost fumbles when they're sacked and things of that sort. He protects the football.
Even in those bad situations, he sorts it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, that was another thing, like right along with the penalties, like there was like 3 or 4 bad snaps.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Your job is to get the ball to the quarterback. I don't
Right.
understand.
I mean, neither do I. But
So-
it
Let's pop over to Kirk Cousins, the other quarterback in this game tonight, who, like I said earlier, was coming off a horrendous game, throwing 4 interceptions in one game. The guy, the last game, he looked like a backup quarterback. Tonight, I felt like he really stepped up. He calmed down a bit, had a little bit more composure, and was connecting with his receivers. They had absolutely no run game. I mean, they shut down Alfred Morris 100%.
Exactly.
He rushed for, I think, 29 yards.
Yeah.
But Cousins and
Deshaun
were connecting on all
long
all
bombs.
levels. Yeah. I mean, I felt like he played a lot better. What did you guys think of Cousins tonight?
Well, this is my thing with Cousins. First of all, we know he's a dynamic player. We've seen what he's did before in the past when RG3 has gone down. And right now is Cousins' time to step up and play. I mean, while RG3 is out, he's really playing for the starting spot, even if not for that team, for another team.
Right.
I mean, he's probably the most scrutinized QB right now in the NFL because everyone wants to see what can he do. So with that being said, and as crazy as this sounds, I think Cousins was most impressive in the 2 losses that he's had. The first one against the Eagles a couple of weeks ago when he threw for 400+ yards, had a really good throwing percentage, and then this game tonight when he led them down on the second to last drive. And I think that he's shown a lot of maturity. He's showing a lot of connection with the receivers, like you said, with Deshaun Jackson, who's just a deep ball threat. I mean,
Yes.
you just throw it out, Deshaun, that dude is beastie.
Even with Richard Sherman and I think it was Earl Thomas or whoever else the other
Legion of Boom. But
whoever else was
Legion
on
of
2
Boom.
guys on him, and he still caught that long ball, like arm stretch and everything, and ran it in. Like
yeah.
it
But
was
also
great.
that takes Cousins laying the ball right in that
Exactly.
spot,
Right.
which I thought he played well. Yeah, the Redskins had no run game exactly, but there was a lot of good things that Cousins did. Like I was really impressed with him as a quarterback. I really was. I don't know.
So the question is, do you think Cousins has done enough now to show the Redskins that he deserves to be the starter when RG3 is healthy?
I don't think
No.
not yet.
Hell no.
Because
Okay, thank you.
I mean, tonight
gonna
was a
happen.
good step in the right direction. If he can continue this play, he needs to cut down on interceptions, clearly. He's tied for most in the NFL. I forget, I'm not
Right,
sure
Geno
who else.
Smith.
Maybe.
Right?
But, you know, he needs to cut down on the mistakes and keep his play like it was tonight, where he was a lot more composed. He
Right.
was thinking more. He was smarter. He was,
he was very accurate, too. I
Right.
mean, he made some
Yeah,
good
he
passes.
was so
was good.
accurate.
He was accurate
They
tonight.
passed for 275 yards. So
And they got the ball. They had a lot of their starts were like 5-yard line or closer to the end zone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he didn't panic. You know what I mean? Like he knew and he was having trouble hearing the plays too. It looked like he was
Yeah.
like running back and forth to the sideline. So,
Communication issues,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like he played really well. I got to give it up to him.
And
Could have been better, but you know what I mean? Like for what?
So maybe he'll be even better next week.
Well, how long is RG3 out for with the dislocated?
I'm not sure.
Ankle,
I
right?
think it's
I think they
up
gave
in
him
the
7
air.
to 8 weeks initially, but it changes
Yeah,
week by,
dislocated ankle. Yeah.
week to see.
So we're at least gonna have a couple more weeks with Cousins.
Well, there was some news that was released a few weeks ago. I think it was their president or somebody made a mention of kind of alluding to the fact that RG3 doesn't have the starting spot guaranteed when he comes back.
I did, yeah. I did hear something like that.
Yeah, and so one of
That's just motivation for him to get off his ass.
right, and so somebody that I
Well, and
know that
confidence for-
knows, the Redskins organization fairly well said that that's the first step of them getting RG3 out of Washington. So,
Wow.
Ooh, the Jets will take him.
well, I mean, I don't know if you want him.
Yeah, I mean, not to flip the subject on
The
RG3.
guy's made of glass,
But
I mean, come on.
he's
I
shown.
thought we want a
in
new
his-
one.
Yeah, he's shown in his first 3 seasons how injury prone he is. Now, we all know RG3 is probably the most electrifying QB in the league right now. But the main thing is he makes. He doesn't make the best decisions, and he's injury prone. He can't stay healthy. What good are you to a team if you cannot stay healthy?
Yeah, I just think he probably just relies on his athletic ability a little too much. just to put it plainly. So that's been his kind of Achilles heel since he's been in the league. Yeah.
No pun intended. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Redskins as a whole, you know,
1-4.
Yeah, I just don't know what to think about this team. I feel like there's potential there, but they just can't. I mean, they struggled so much in that first half. They literally could not get anything going on offense. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's necessarily that the Seahawks were just that good. Their defense was covering them that well tonight, or, you know, there's still holes in their offense. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, you got to give credit to the Legion of Boom. The Seahawks do have a pretty damn good defense.
Right.
They say offense wins games, defense wins championships. And when you have a defense that's that effective, then you're going to shut people down, especially people with inferior offenses. This is not gonna be effective. The running game, as you saw, was not there. Yeah. Didn't show up.
Just non-existent.
It was non-existent.
Yeah.
And you
32 yards to be exact.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you can't establish a run game and you have a backup quarterback, to be honest with you, they should have won that game by way more.
The Seahawks?
The Seahawks, yes.
Well, we already talked about the touchdowns. Yeah, that were there. But you know, another thing, you know.
Even with that.
Do you guys know, was Richard Sherman covering Pierre Garçon tonight?
He was back and forth because Richard Sherman just stays on the one side.
Garçon had maybe one look all night long. He wasn't throwing to him at all.
No, he
which
got
makes me
like
think
one pass, I
that
think.
Richard Sherman was probably on him, because I feel like that's the trend now, is whoever's being covered by Richard Sherman, you don't want to start him in your fantasy league because they're not going to throw to him.
I personally think Sherman is slightly overrated. I
agree.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him. I mean, he's rightfully deserved as All-Pro. He's led the league in interceptions the last couple of years. But I still think this whole fear of, oh my God, we cannot throw it in the way of the God, Richard Sherman. I think because Deshaun, his first 70-yard touchdown whatever it was, the long one was
60,
actually was on Sherman. And now there was a safety that came over, Chancellor, I believe it was that also.
It was Chancellor.
But with a lot of these long passes, because Deshaun, he had like 3 or 4 catches that were like 50 yards or plus. That right there exploited that defense. Yep. So I don't think that, you know, they're invincible, that defense. No. You know, I think if you can find various ways to take them out. But I think what killed Washington tonight was time of possession. They only had 25 minutes of time of possession versus the Seahawks had 35, and that's something that tires a defense down. The longer you're on the field with the ball, whether you're running it or passing it, it tires the defense down. When you're doing 3 and outs, you're not wearing down the defense.
That's right.
And you know they're not tired, you know, so they're out there, you know, working hard. You got to wear them down.
It also doesn't give the offense a chance to get into a rhythm.
Yes.
You can't get into a rhythm like that. If you're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, then obviously your game plan is not effective. And
exactly.
Then now the coaches are trying to adjust. Okay, 3 and out. Well, dang, we didn't get a chance to establish anything here. We got to reestablish something the next time we happen to get the ball. So that is that's a tribute to the Legion of Boom.
Right,
These guys.
But you
and Richard Sherman, you got to give this guy his props. Like, you know, he is the man. He's the Deion Sanders right now.
He's good.
He benefits from a lot. He benefits from a defense that does a lot of pass rushing.
Yes,
which
does.
means therefore QBs make terrible mistakes and will throw it out, which makes him more vulnerable to get interceptions or picks. But you know,
how many DBs have you seen with stone hands who just don't know how to take advantage? You can't take advantage of.
Yeah, but
well,
I
first
think
of all,
too,
he was a receiver first too, though, so he has the hands and he knows how to play off.
But even with that, it's like with tonight, with him, you know, you're dealing with Deshaun Jackson too. Like he's like a ninja. You know what I mean? That's
really
why he,
ninja.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like there'll be a whole bunch of people on him, and you'll just see his hands come out like, whoop, give me the ball. You know what I mean?
Right,
so of course he was gonna win in that case tonight, but Sherman, you know, usually does shut it down.
Well, he's also this is his
shut down Sherman.
Did you see Garcon pull his dreads?
No, I didn't see that.
No, but I really like that the refs. There was a lot of back and forth, and the refs let them play.
Right.
Yeah, you said like when they all piled up, and you saw like someone even threw a punch a little bit, but they knew that it was provoked, so they didn't give any personal. You know, like some of the calls were weak on during the actual play, but when they got scuffling, they were kind of like, all right, guys, let's just stop it. Which I thought was cool. Like, let them play.
Well, this is the Richard Sherman's 5th game in a row with no interception. So, like I said earlier, I think a lot of quarterbacks are avoiding him
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, but I do agree with you that he isn't. I don't think I would say that he's the best corner in the league.
He's not Deion Sanders.
No.
All right.
No.
Definitely not Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he's not primetime. He's great, and I'm not taking anything away from him. Let me be very careful with that.
Right.
But I do not think that he's this person that you dare not throw to or throw at.
Right.
Because, in fear of something. No, I would throw, if I was a quarterback, I would go at Richard Sherman. Because we saw tonight that he can be exploited. So, and also you have to look at some of the, some of the T-Vers. He hasn't gone against like a Megatron yet this year. Or, whoever, what's it called? He hasn't gone against Fitzgerald this year either, right?
No,
the Cardinals?
not yet.
They haven't So, I don't know.
However, Fitzgerald hasn't been used in the Cardinals offense hardly at all this season. So.
Hey, he's the most expensive decoy out there, though.
Yeah.
He's going to draw double coverages, and he's going to allow other people to make plays because of the fact he's Fitzgerald. So
That's true.
Even though he may not contribute statistically, he contributes,
That's true. His presence.
His presence. There you go.
His presence means a lot when he's out there between the lines.
So how about that faked punt in the fourth quarter?
Awesome.
That was so
with
cute.
4th and inches.
Wasn't it a... Oh, yeah, it was. I thought it was for a field goal. I think it was for a field goal.
No, they were faking the punt on 4th and inches.
Oh, yeah, to get the
To
first,
run
to convert
the
the first
first
down.
down.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was pretty awesome. I mean, I thought that was a great play. I kind of expected them to go for it, so when they did send out the punter, I was like, okay, weird. 4th and inches, it's the Seahawks. That beast mode can run through and get that first down.
Right.
But so I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know.
That's Pete Carroll for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's ballsy.
Yeah.
He is
love
ballsy.
him.
Yeah, he's the man.
I want him to be like my life coach.
Is your life coach? I would love for Phil Jackson to be my life coach. But yeah, same
But
thing.
like if you had to pick
You would
a
like
coach,
him to be the Jets coach.
no, or that. But if you had to pick a coach that was like your person,
Right.
who would your coach be?
Of course.
Would it be Pete Carroll?
It would be Phil
I'm telling you.
Jackson.
The Zen master.
I'll put it like this. It wouldn't be Rex Ryan. So,
Phil
anyways.
Jackson's such a good coach. He can come and coach an NFL team to a Super Bowl. That's how good of a coach he is.
I bet you he could because so much of coaching is character, teamwork, discipline.
Exactly.
And one of the
These
things
guys know how to play football. You know what I mean? It's like most of them were born with a football in their hand, probably.
Right.
And one of the things I hear about Carroll is that he is a player's coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk to the players. And you see he has this very youthful aura. I just found out he's like 67 or 60. I don't know his age exactly, but I know he's a lot older than I thought. Yes.
Yeah, because it was a field goal. It was not a punt because
It was a field goal, yeah.
It was a field goal that they
Because,
fixed.
Because
Because
the
the holder
is
got the ball.
one-
was the
Okay,
punter.
okay.
You know what?
Yeah,
If the
yeah.
holder
The
would have
it was-
ran a little bit harder,
He could have got a touchdown.
He could have broke that little,
Yeah.
or those little
Yeah.
arm tackles, and been off to the races.
But he's a punter. Punters aren't taught to break through and run beast mode
That's
like tackles.
true.
He took off though.
But
He
speaking
did.
of John Ryan was a punter who
Right, yeah. They were saying he was going to be MVP of the game.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of John Ryan, who was the punter that converted that first down, he actually was the unsung hero of the game.
Right.
Reason being, you had made the reference earlier that Cousins had to start like on a 3-yard line or the 5-yard on every play. That was because John Ryan, the punter, was punting it like to the the 5-yard line. I think 4 or 5 of his punts were within the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Which made the Washington start, and it started them on bad field position.
Right.
Which I think kind of contributed to this loss. Think of most of those
Definitely.
times Washington started on the 30-yard line or 40-yard line.
Right.
They would have a lot more confidence, but when you're backed up in your end zone, that totally changes your offensive game plan.
That's
Right.
true.
Because you can't run the, or be proficient on offense.
You have to
the
be
way
a
you
little
want
more
to.
conservative come out of there. You don't
Exactly.
want to be backed up and then something happens. Next thing you know, there's a safety or there's a fumble and then there's an easy
Exactly.
touchdown made or whatever
Yep.
the case
Right.
may be. So, yeah, the game plan definitely is different when you're
Right.
backed up against your own
Yeah.
zone. Yeah.
Right, and John Gruden was saying after the game, I believe it was, that guy dressed up as a punter for Halloween when he was like a little kid or something.
John Ryan?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Who dresses up as the punter?
I know, right? I'm like,
I'm the
what
kicker.
do you, yeah, exactly. What do you do? Do you put on the outfit and then go around to everyone saying, I'm the punter. I'm the punter. Like, I don't get how do you dress up as a punter?
Maybe his dad
I mean,
was a punter or something.
either that or
You
you
wear
wore
one
the
white shoe and one
jersey.
black shoe. That's what
Yeah.
you do.
I know, right?
There you go.
That's how you
That's
dress
a good
up
one.
as a kicker. Two different color shoes.
No, that was definitely, he was putting a lot of pressure on Cousins in the offense to work.
Yeah.
They had to work. and they struggled and it showed.
Right.
But like I was talking about before, I just don't know what I think about this Redskins team. Obviously, we know the Seahawks are good. They're going to do well, possibly return to the Super Bowl.
Possibly.
Who knows?
The Niners will not allow that to happen this year. That's not going to happen.
Who's your team?
I'm a 49er fan.
Have you been watching
Don't
any
you?
of the
Yeah, the
games?
Niners
I've been
are
watching a lot of football
sleeping.
this year. The Niners are 3-2 actually right now, and they came off a convincing win against Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Who Kansas City Chiefs was the team that annihilated the Patriots last week. So that just goes to show that the Niners are in business, and even though you guys are all
The
staring at
Niners
me,
are not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a
I'll
couple
put it
of weeks
like
ago,
this.
we
The
had
Niners
a
have a better-
conversation about an elite team, and I said the 49ers is an elite team. And Stef Z said, no, they're not.
What is this hatred on the Niners for?
No. There's no hatred. I used to be a big Niners fan.
Used?
I owned a
Traitor.
Joe Montana jersey. I did. Number 16. I owned it. It was good. No, I just feel like there's what I don't like about the Niners, and this is what I blew it up. And this is not directed towards you, is that I go to this same bar I've been going to for about 10 years to watch football.
What bar is that?
Nicky's in Venice Beach. And
Nicky's, I go to
Okay, I know
Nicky's.
about Dickies.
I'm
We
there
all
every
know about
Sunday.
Nicky's.
So you're not there, any of you. 'cause
By the
I'm
way,
there
if you
every
guys are in
Sunday.
LA, meet us at Nicky's Sunday.
Nicky's.
Go ahead.
Nicky Beach.
What my beef about the Niners is, here being in LA, there's lots of bandwagon fans because no one was a Niners fan like 6, 7, 8 years ago when they started getting good. Now you have all these rowdy Niners fans because LA doesn't have a team coming on board and being all crazy like woohoo, and you ask them questions like who's Jerry Rice and they don't know. Like if you don't know who Jerry Rice is, you're not a Niners fan. That nothing against the actual breakdown of the team. I love Kaepernick. I think he's great. Like I like a lot of the team, but that's kind of
So I'm confused. Do you not like the team, or you don't like the fan bandwagonness?
the fan bandwagoness. It's not
That has
about the
nothing to
team.
do with the team.
Right, but he was saying that I said
okay.
that,
Wait,
and
so
I
that's
was.
why they're not an elite team because they're.
But I
fans
never
of-
said they weren't an elite
And actually,
team.
most LA people like the Raiders
not?
anyway. So
I didn't
understand
say
your
they
trip.
weren't an elite team. That was my beef with them.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know if
Well,
I would
anyways,
go for most LA people like the Raiders.
I see a lot more Raiders stuff out here than.
No
But that's
way.
because the Raiders used to play in LA too, so LA has a connection to them.
And that
You know,
gangbang
so.
culture.
People-
USC, Raiders, and Lakers share the same fans. They just rotate.
And all their
the
fans are
Dodgers.
hostile, crazy, and will bust the cap in your butt. So
The
be
Dodgers, the
careful.
Lakers, the Raiders, and USC.
As I'm representing the Dodgers tonight, even though we lost. Another story. But go ahead. But no, let me tell you, I'm from Northern California. So
No way.
how you were talking about, I know, I rep all day. So Stockton. But anyways, as you were talking about Jerry Rice, Montana, John Taylor, Brent Jones, even young in the 90s. I mean, yes, I watched them from the late 80s. Of course, during the
Great
early
team,
2000s, they
yeah.
broke down post Terrell Owens, Jeff Garcia era. But
They've always been a fun, good team to
yeah.
watch.
And
You
we've
know what I
always
mean?
had a great front office. That's the one thing about the Niners. They've always had a great front office.
Yes, and that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
So back to what I was
Well,
initially saying.
No. Back to
Uh-oh.
let's segue. Next week, we will be talking about the 49ers because they will be in Monday Night Football against the St. Louis Rams.
And oh wow, that's competition.
Yeah,
the
it's
Rams
gonna
have
be a
what,
tough
9 different
game.
quarterbacks so far this season.
Yeah.
I
think, what is it, Stanton still, or did he get hurt?
No, they had some other person playing the Rams just this past week. Somebody I don't even know the name of him. But exactly. So anyways, next Monday we'll be here talking about how the 49ers annihilated the Rams and how it was just such a
Hey, you never know.
incredible win, and Kaepernick ran for 300 yards and threw for another 600. So
Hey, one can only hope.
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
But anyways, back to what I was initially saying. I think I think you had said that the Seahawks were favorites to win it all again this year, and I said not because because the Niners will stand in the way of that happening.
Just like they did last
I think there's other teams that
Came down to the
will
final.
stand in.
Oh, shit.
You know what? Last
Just
year,
kidding. I'm a Jets fan.
there was
Come
this
on.
joke last year, right? There was this joke last year. All right, during the playoffs. Okay, you ready? All right, Geno Smith, Tony Romo walk into a bar to watch the playoffs and the Niners play. It's not that funny right now, but anyways, it's.
Okay.
Thank you. Somebody got it. All
Oh,
right.
goodness.
I'm not here to tell jokes. I'm here to talk football.
That
But
was
anyways,
funny, though.
thank you. Thank
That
you.
was funny.
I'll be excited to talk about the Niners next week. I think that I really like Kaepernick. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he might be a little bit more cocky than a Russell Wilson.
Because he kisses his bicep?
And he wears a like half. The hat's like half on his head, and he's got his beats around his neck in every interview because he can't ever take them off. And
Yeah, but
First
he
of all,
might be
that's
getting paid.
an endorsement. That's what I'm
Yeah,
about to say.
but
That's
still,
an endorsement.
though, really, is that part of your contract that you have to wear them around your neck in every single post-game interview?
Possibly.
That's that Kaepernick swag, you know.
That's
no one
part
tells
of his-
when,
I'm
when
the
Michael
man, I'm the man.
exactly when Michael Jordan used to wear that big old ring earring in his ear after every interview, like that Prince like earring there. No one say anything, you know. That was his style.
Yeah, but that was an endorsement. He just wanted to wear it. This you're saying is endorsement.
It could be an endorsement. It could be a style. You never know.
All
But
right.
all that matters is on the field. That man takes care of business.
Well, let's get your closing thoughts on the game tonight. What you think next? So let's see. Next up for the Seahawks is the Cowboys. They play the Cowboys at home, so they're probably going to destroy them. And the Redskins are playing the Cardinals in Arizona. So
Arizona
Stef Z.
wins that game. Sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
starting with Stef Z.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Stef Z. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Ladies first. Come on.
I think the Cardinals are going to win, and the Seahawks. I mean, it's that
It's easy.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Dallas is like one of those teams where it's like they either like do the unexpected or they're terrible.
No, they've had a really good start. They've
Yeah.
been playing really well, but I know for a fact they will not beat the Seahawks at home.
Well,
in
because it's
Seattle.
so loud, and I think once Romo starts to fall apart, then it all just goes to crap.
You know,
But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
DeMarco Murray.
I know.
if they
I'm gonna
can't
go with the
stop him.
Seahawks. I just want the Seahawks to win. I like them.
Okay.
I bet with my heart.
I see.
Kevin.
Now, you know, I'm going to have a little bit of biasness because, you know, the Seahawks are our division rival. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Cowboys. And I'm going to say that for one reason. Seahawks every year will lose to a team that you at least expect them to. This year they lost to the Chargers, which I'm not saying is a bad team. Chargers are great, and they've showed that.
Yes, we are very
They're not
good.
a bad team.
Just
but
the team
would,
you least expect.
But yeah, and then last year at home, the Seahawks lost to the Cardinals,
Arizona,
I believe.
yep.
Yeah, at home. So every now and then, you know, the Seahawks will lose to a team, whether away or at home, that you least expect. The Cowboys right now have a lot of momentum going for them. They've won, 4 straight or something like that. And I think that they are really, really pumped up heading into this game. And I think they're going to devise a game plan to stop Wilson because they saw what he did tonight. So expect a lot more defensive pressure, protection around him. And I would not be surprised if the Cowboys
All right.
Squeak that out. Huh?
squeak that out. Just saying.
And so are you picking the Redskins or the Cardinals?
I'm going to pick the Redskins.
Okay.
And reason being is because I think that Cousins, he still has yet to win a game as a starter this year. If you don't include the one he came in for RG3 at, I think that was against the Jaguars or something. But he has a game that he started, he hasn't won, and I think that really he has to prove himself this next game. There's a lot of pressure on him, and I think he's going to come out swinging. But it's not going to be easy because the Cardinals are a hell of a team.
Their defense is pretty
Insane.
nasty, so I don't know. That'll be an interesting game. It could possibly, I'm thinking it could possibly be a blowout, honestly. Because
Cardinals blowing out the
they
Redskins.
could completely shut them down. Their defense is very good this year.
It is.
But I agree with you on that. But you know, you cannot take for granted the Redskins defense as well. I mean, they did pretty good against the Seahawks with a few plays because they're not going to have a Russell Wilson quarterback that can go extend plays
Right.
and throw bombs. So if you take away a few of those plays that Wilson was able to make on this defense, they would not have had 27 points. You know, they may have scored 17 if even that. So I don't know. I mean, it can go either way.
So Kevin with the Cowboys and the Redskins.
Okay.
I'm going.
And
Wow.
Thaddeus, are you going?
Seahawks, Cardinals.
Okay.
They're both at home and they're dynamic teams. There's not really a whole lot of explanation there.
I like to go against the grain. Okay.
I see.
I like to
Clearly.
be devil's advocate and go against the grain. All right.
I'm kind of torn because I kind of feel like I want to take the Cowboys in this game because you made a good point of, you know, every now and then the Seahawks do lose at home. And
They're not invincible.
Yes, and the Cowboys are hot right now. They're playing well. Their defense has stepped up a lot.
How is Romo?
He's healthy, and that's the whole reason
How's he
why they are
performing?
playing so well.
It's all because of Romo?
No, not all because of Romo.
Yeah, I mean,
They're-
it's been a collective
gonna be
effort.
okay,
Go.
guys.
DeMarco Murray, Des Bryant,
Yeah.
you know,
Did you see that catch Des Bryant made yesterday?
Where he was like hugging the
He
guy
was
or whatever?
hugging and like pulled the ball. Oh,
Yes.
That boy hungry this year.
Yes.
He is hungry. He's going to go at Richard Sherman. I hope they put Sherman on Des Bryant the whole game.
That would be a good
Des
matchup.
is going to get busy on him.
Yeah.
Just nasty. Fire.
I don't know about that accuracy from Romo.
I mean, but
Exactly.
but when you have a receiver like Des Bryant that can make plays, you don't have to be the most accurate passer.
Right.
You just lob it up there and you let him make the play.
Yeah, you can, but with the defense like the Seahawks,
No
you really
way.
gonna lob it
At
up
least
and
two
help him make the
Romo
play?
interceptions.
Not gonna happen.
You're calling 2?
I'm calling 2 Romo interceptions.
Actually, I kind of agree with you on that. I think yeah, that sounds about accurate. But
That's Romo-esque.
that's right. I know, right?
That's par for the course for
Yeah.
Romo. Couple picks.
But still, I'm saying at least a touchdown and a 100-yard game from Des Bryant as well.
Yeah, I agree with
100,
that.
100 receiving yards, at least one touchdown.
And I think if DeMarco Murray can get going, that will be the X factor.
Yeah.
Not X whatever, but you know what I mean. Like DeMarco Murray, if they can get that run game going and he can continue to score like he has been, like he did this last game. I don't know what his stats were, but he had a great game. That will be the X factor for the Cowboys, because like I said, or we talked about earlier, is there was no red game for the Redskins tonight. They shut that down, so that's really going to be interesting to see what happens there.
They have to get that going.
Yes.
They have to. If the Redskins want a chance to win, they had to get that run game going.
Yep.
So who are you going to pick? Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cowboys, and I'm gonna take the Cardinals, just because I just can't get behind the Redskins yet. Like I said, I think Deshaun Jackson is great. I think Kirk Cousins played well tonight, but I just don't know if he can ever surpass that, backup quarterback. I'll have my good games every once in a while, and then I'll throw 4 interceptions. You know what I mean?
Consistency.
Right. So I want to see how they play against the Cardinals. That will really be the telltale for me going on, forward in the season, of how he will play with this team and whether or not he'll be able to keep his starting position. So let's go into news.
Well, we got to do our Monday Night Football
I know,
predictions.
that's going to be after news.
AfterBuzz.
Because I kind of
So
jumped.
let's split those.
I know, I jumped the gun on those predictions, but whatever.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
We do our own thing here. We go to the beat of our own drum.
Exactly. And that's a nice drum too.
Yes. So we already talked about the Devin Stills jersey sales and the Patriots wearing them, their cheerleaders wearing them, and all that kind of stuff, which is really great. And Steph, didn't you have another piece of news, or was that your only news?
I think that was my news.
Did anyone else have any news?
I was just going to talk about the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot. So basically, at the game yesterday, the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot, I don't even know what his name is, Jaguar guy, whatever it is. Did anyone even pay attention to the Jaguars? But anyways, he had a sign up that said, that was a bad diss towards them. Sorry, Jaguar fans.
Hey,
Still
but
love
they
you.
are still
They're probably
0-5.
Jaguar.
They're 0-5. Yes, we're doing better.
But I'm a Blake Bortles, Marcus Lee fan. Jaguars,
Yeah.
you guys will turn it around. I got, faith in you. But at any rate, I'll put it like this: Jaguars will be the Super Bowl before the Jets do. All right. So, anyways, the mascot was holding up. The mascot was holding up a sign that said because they were playing the Steelers, and the Steelers stole the towels, and he said those towels have Ebola, or those towels are infected with Ebola, something like that.
Right.
And it just. It just outraged so many different people. I mean, on Twitter, social media, people were coming down. And then the Jaguars had actually come out today and make a statement. I think the general manager or president said, we apologize to the fans. It was insensitive for, offending you on such a subject that is so, relevant but sensitive. That's a serious disease.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that was kind of a lame move.
Yeah, but, at least I'll put
It
it like
was
this.
a little too soon, I think, because this guy just came into America about a week or two ago with Ebola. So I think that was a little too soon there, Jacksonville. But
I don't even know about too soon. That's like a deadly ass disease.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's like putting AIDS up or something.
Yeah.
Towels
it'd
have
be different
AIDS or
if,
something.
because Pittsburgh, because the weather, like, they got snow. Like, it'd be different if it was, like, a circumstantial thing like that, but, like a more general thing, but, like, a specific disease that is, like, coming into the U.S. from another country that could, possibly wipe a bunch of people out. Like, that's just pretty dumb.
But
I didn't really
honestly,
think it was that offensive. I just think it was super corny.
at this point, I think Jacksonville will do anything possible to get any kind of press.
That's what I was about to say.
Anything.
The positive is it's week 5 and Jacksonville is on top of the headlines.
Yes.
I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, Thaddeus. Like, it's not like I'm offended by it. It's just like, that was just dumb.
It's like, it's just corny. Like, really? The Towels are infected with Ebola. Or
It's
like,
just,
really?
it's just bad.
Stupid.
Yeah, whoever did
was just
that's
lame.
kind of.
Okay, I actually have one more thing of news that I just remembered I read the other day. Prince Amukamara on the Giants. He apparently just got married, and I guess he was saving himself for marriage, and so everyone's attributing his higher level of play to him getting laid. Which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, but isn't it like?
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah. Well, no, isn't it like? Yeah, exactly. Aren't the players not supposed to? I mean, I don't know. We won't talk about this, but I've heard that the players are not supposed to have sex before games.
I don't know if he had it before the game. I'm just saying he had sex
like
in general, and now
okay.
he's playing really well, and so his team's kind of like messing with him and saying that's why.
Testosterone levels are increased.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
higher levels.
They put Prince on blast, but hey, as long as you're playing well, I guess that's all that matters.
That's kind of funny.
Amen to that.
Okay, so predictions for next Monday. We'll move on.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So we already jumped the gun on all of those other predictions that you heard. But next Monday, we have the 49ers and the Rams.
So I predict we'll be back here next week.
So besides that, which is not necessarily a prediction, it's a definite, it's happening. We will be here.
Yeah.
I will be here. I can't
be
speak
here.
for the rest of my crew.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll be here.
I'll be
and
here.
I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? You need to elaborate.
Because they're an
You can't
elite
just-
football team.
You know what?
For
I
those
think
of
that's
you-
the one thing of
wait,
I'm
substance.
super coachable.
Wait, for those of you listening, she just said that with the most sarcastic look on her face.
I think they could tell by
They
my
can
tone.
see.
Yes.
Oh,
But,
they're just listening, yes.
No, I do think they're going to win. I think they're a better football team.
Yeah. All right, Kevin.
Are you really going to ask me my prediction for next week?
I mean, I know your prediction,
Yeah, really want to ask me.
and you already kind of gave your reasons about why I think 49ers are so great.
Obviously, we're going with the gold and red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know why you're a Dodger fan and not a Giants.
Yes.
I was totally going to bring that up earlier, but I didn't want to blast them.
Or an A's fan.
Yeah,
in the
like,
Bay.
what's that traitorship?
First of all, we're talking predictions right now. We're not talking about Kevin's teams.
no,
Yeah,
so
because
we're gonna
Kevin
move on.
likes
That's what I
winning
wanna
teams,
know.
and that's
Yeah.
why he's a Dodgers fan. 'cause
And a
the
San
Giants
Francisco
are about
fan.
to
No,
get
technically,
swept.
I would like the Angels, right? Well, even though they
No,
just got
they
swept.
just got
like the
swept.
They
San
just got
Francisco
swept, but they had
Giants.
They have the best.
Oh,
they
the
have-
Giants are still in it too, so I would
No.
be. Yeah, the Giants are not out.
No, didn't the Royals just sweep them?
No, the Royals swept the Angels. The Royals swept the Angels.
Then
The
the
Giants
Giants are down 2-0 then. I'm pretty sure they have not won a game yet.
They did. They won that one that went 18
Into
innings.
the MLB.
Sure?
It went 18 innings on Saturday night, the longest postseason game ever. They did win that one, so now it's 2-1. The Giants are
Sure.
still in it. Yeah.
Right, but the whole point is that if you're a Niners fan, because you're from up there, why do you like an LA baseball team and not your baseball team from where you're from?
The point is, why are we interrogating Kevin on why he likes?
Because you're the
teams
new dude.
The
Yeah.
new guy gotta hate
Okay,
you.
the reason is
Yeah,
I grew up. You're right. I grew up going to A's and Giants games because I was even at the World Series when they played each other in '89, I believe that was, or '90.
Wait, how old
but,
were you?
Like 1. But anyways, yeah, I look
You and
good,
me.
right? But at any rate,
Because I was 1 in '89, so that's why I was asking.
wow, I didn't know we were the same age. That's incredible. Wow, look at that. Amazing.
You're one in
AMG.
'89.
I was 1-ish in '89. I
He's
could have been 7,
one
could have been
plus.
10. One and some change.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so cut
Anyway.
to the chase.
Anyway, since moving down to Los Angeles, I have become a fan of the Dodgers because I do appreciate the loyalty that this town does have to the Dodgers. Now, when it comes to basketball, you got fans that, oh, Lakers, Clippers, there's a whole bunch of disloyalty when it comes to other teams, but the Lakers is the one thing that I love in LA.
You mean the
people are
Dodgers?
loyal to. Excuse me, the Dodgers. Thank you. Are the one team that people are loyal to, and I just
He's a Kings fan.
Sacramento all day. I'm from NorCal. I'm from,
Yes,
But you can't use that as an excuse.
The Kings are horrible, so that shows my loyalty to them. Okay. They are atrocious right now.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
It's a reasoning. But
Geno Smith can play for the Kings and probably do a pretty good job for us right now.
Maybe.
At least he won't. Anyways.
You know what? I do want to. You just brought me up something real quick.
Yeah.
They were talking about Deshaun Jackson and why he can get those long balls was because he used to be. Yeah. Did you guys know that?
He had a full
He was a center fielder.
Yeah, center fielder. I thought that was super interesting.
He went to Long Beach Poly, Long Beach, where I grew up. Which would have been my school, but
LBC.
my parents transferred me out. But anyways, he had a full ride scholarship to Cal for football or baseball. He couldn't play either.
And he got drafted by Major League Baseball, by MLB too. I mean, not in the early rounds, but he did get drafted. I'm
kidding.
Yeah. No, so that makes great sense why he can get
because you're reading the ball, it's different and it's a little ball. Anyway,
that and the fact that he runs a 40 and like a 4.3 too. I mean,
I didn't mean to interrupt your prediction.
All right,
I'm done with my.
We know Kevin's prediction. Thaddeus.
It's a two-sided prediction, but San Francisco should win this game unless Kaepernick goes on one of his gallivants down the field and gets his brains bashed in, and then he has to sit on the sideline for maybe a quarter or so, which will keep the Rams in the game. So if Kaepernick can stay,
dude, we need like a Rams or Niners.
San Fran.
I'm about to say, if no one can name the starting quarterback of the opposing team, I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the 49ers too. I just don't think the Rams. I mean, who do they have? Zach
Michael. Actually, no, they don't. No. He's with the Cowboys practice squad.
They have Zach Stacy as probably their top running back. Who's their top, wide receiver? I don't even know.
There's lots of grunts coming.
I mean, they have a decent defense, but I just don't think. I think the 49ers.
Who was their first round pick? Do you know the Rams' first round pick this year? Because they were early in the draft.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Sorry, Rams. I guess you guys are just irrelevant.
Yeah, maybe you should move back to LA and then people will actually care about you.
Is Davis going to be the quarterback again?
Davis. That's who was quarterbacking last game. That's right. Yeah.
For the Rams.
For the Rams, yeah.
Well.
Because what's his face? Bradford was the one that went down with was it MCL?
Yes, and then it was like was it Sean Lee or no?
I heard, actually breaking news, I heard Brett Favre is going to come back to the Rams. They're calling Brett Favre to come back and quarterback for
Great.
No, totally not.
All right. So
I was like, shit, we want first dibs of the Jets.
He played for the Jets though, yeah.
So we're unanimous on that. We're all taking the 49ers.
That's no fun.
I thought it was Kurt Warner.
We'll see.
He took him to a Super Bowl.
I give him a shot.
Kevin, thank you for joining us. We like you. You're a great addition.
Thank you for having me.
You guys, tell everyone where they can find you.
The people can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Stef Z with an F. Thank you.
You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at HeyKevinJohn, or you can find me at Dodger Stadium this week in the NLDS, soon to be NLCS.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Club Thaddeus.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tina Cap. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep giving us your comments. We love them. And we'll see you next week.
Sweet.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.